Have you ever wondered if the healthy choices you make for breakfast might actually be working against you in unexpected ways? It's a frustrating reality for many men over 60, where the confidence and vitality they once knew seem to be fading. You might feel a profound sense of loss, a quiet worry that a crucial part of your life, of your very identity, is slowly slipping away. This isn't just about physical ability. It's about feeling vibrant, confident, and fully alive. What if I told you that a secret culprit might be hiding in plain sight, right there on your breakfast plate, silently sabotaging your most intimate well-being? It's a surprising truth that often gets overlooked because we're so conditioned to believe that all fruit is universally good, all the time. But for men over 60, especially when consumed first thing in the morning, certain fruits can trigger internal processes that inadvertently work against optimal blood flow and hormonal balance, which are absolutely crucial for maintaining strong, reliable erections. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 common fruits that, when eaten for breakfast, could be quietly undermining your erectile health. We'll dive into why these seemingly innocent choices might be doing more harm than good, and, more importantly, what you can do instead to fuel your body for lasting vitality and confidence. Stick with me to the very end, because I've got a powerful insight that will truly surprise you. Something that can make a real difference in how you approach your morning meal. Let's dive right into our first culprits, starting with something many consider a natural, energy-boosting sweet treat: dates. Now, dates are incredibly sweet, a real gift from nature, and in small quantities. They can offer some fiber and minerals, but when you're over 60 and you decide to have a few dates, or even just one or two, for breakfast, especially on their own, you're essentially giving your body a huge sugar rush right at the start of the day. Think about it. Dates are packed with natural sugars, primarily fructose and glucose, in a very concentrated form. When these sugars hit your bloodstream quickly, your pancreas goes into overdrive, pumping out a lot of insulin to try and bring your blood sugar levels back down. This rapid spike and subsequent crash isn't just about feeling tired or sluggish an hour later. For your vascular system, which is the network of blood vessels absolutely critical for achieving and maintaining an erection, it's a big deal. Over time, these repeated high insulin responses can contribute to insulin resistance, a condition where your cells become less responsive to insulin. This means your pancreas has to work even harder, and stubbornly high blood sugar levels can start to damage the delicate lining of your blood vessels, particularly the endothelium. This damage is a major precursor to atherosclerosis, or the hardening and narrowing of your arteries. And when those arteries, especially the tiny ones that supply blood to the penis, become stiff and constricted, it significantly impairs blood flow. Without adequate blood flow, achieving a firm erection becomes incredibly challenging. So, while a date might seem harmless, a breakfast habit involving them can slowly, subtly, chip away at your vascular health, leading to diminished erectile function over the years. My advice: if you enjoy dates, save them for a small occasional treat after a meal that includes plenty of protein and healthy fats, which will slow down the sugar absorption. Definitely not on an empty stomach for breakfast. Moving on. Let's talk about another common breakfast item that often hides in plain sight: dried figs. Just like dates, dried figs are a concentrated source of natural sugar. When you dry fruit, you remove the water content, which concentrates all the sugars, making them incredibly calorie-dense and sugar-dense compared to their fresh counterparts. You might think you're having a healthy serving of fruit, but a small handful of dried figs can contain as much sugar as a chocolate bar, without the same feeling of satisfaction. Consuming this much concentrated sugar first thing in the morning, when your body is often more sensitive to insulin after an overnight fast, sets off that same problematic cascade we just discussed: a sharp rise in blood sugar, a significant insulin surge, and the potential for long-term damage to your vascular system. The issue isn't just the immediate sugar spike, it's the cumulative effect, day after day. And if your breakfast routinely includes high-sugar dried fruits like figs, you're constantly putting stress on your metabolic system. This chronic strain can lead to systemic inflammation, which is another silent enemy of erectile health. Inflammation in your blood vessels contributes to plaque buildup and impairs nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is a crucial molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax and expand, a process absolutely essential for blood to rush into the penis during arousal. When nitric oxide production is compromised by chronic inflammation, it's like trying to fill a deflated balloon with air through a kinked hose. It just won't work effectively. So, while dried figs might offer some fiber, their high sugar load, especially for breakfast, makes them a significant risk for long-term erectile vitality. Consider fresh figs in season, in moderation, and always paired with protein to buffer the sugar impact. Now, let's talk about a tropical favorite that's often lauded for its vitamin C content, but can be surprisingly detrimental at breakfast: mango. Ripe mangoes. Those wonderfully sweet, juicy ones that melt in your mouth are loaded with natural sugars. While fresh mango contains more water and fiber than dried fruits, its glycemic index can still be quite high, especially for very ripe varieties. Eating a large portion of mango for breakfast without balancing it with sufficient protein and healthy fats can lead to a substantial blood sugar spike. Again, it's that rapid influx of sugar that triggers an excessive insulin response. For men over 60, this repeated roller coaster of blood sugar levels can be particularly problematic. As we age, our bodies naturally become a little less efficient at managing glucose, and the risk of developing insulin resistance increases. When insulin resistance sets in, not only does it affect blood vessel health, but it can also impact hormone balance. Specifically, chronic high insulin levels are often associated with lower testosterone levels. Testosterone isn't just about libido. It plays a vital role in overall energy, mood, and, crucially, in supporting healthy erectile function by influencing nitric oxide production and nerve sensitivity. So, that seemingly innocent mango for breakfast, especially if it's a regular habit and a large serving, could be contributing to both vascular damage and hormonal imbalances, both of which are direct pathways to erectile dysfunction. If you absolutely love mango, enjoy it in smaller portions, and always make sure your breakfast includes robust sources of protein like eggs, Greek yogurt, or nuts to help stabilize your blood sugar response. As you can see, the common thread here is often sugar and how our bodies process it, especially first thing in the morning. But the story doesn't end there. Let's look at more fruits that might be doing you a disservice. Continuing our journey through the breakfast fruit bowl, let's turn our attention to another popular choice that can be surprisingly problematic: pineapple. Often praised for its digestive enzymes and vitamin C, a large serving of pineapple, particularly for breakfast, can deliver a significant load of natural sugars directly into your bloodstream. Pineapple has a relatively high glycemic index, meaning it can cause a quick surge in blood glucose levels, similar to the fruits we've already discussed. This rapid sugar spike triggers an immediate and robust insulin response from your pancreas, while occasional consumption might not be an issue, making pineapple a regular breakfast staple, especially without adequate protein or healthy fats to slow down sugar absorption, contributes to the cumulative metabolic stress on your body. Over time, this consistent cycle of high blood sugar and insulin can lead to systemic inflammation and oxidative stress. These processes are deeply damaging to your endothelial cells, the delicate lining of your blood vessels. When these cells are compromised, they lose their ability to produce sufficient nitric oxide, which, as we discussed, is the key signaling molecule that relaxes blood vessels and allows for increased blood flow. Absolutely essential for achieving and maintaining an erection. Therefore, that seemingly refreshing slice of pineapple could be subtly undermining the health of your circulatory system, making it harder for blood to flow where it needs to go when it counts. It's not that pineapple is inherently bad, but its sugar profile, when consumed in quantity at breakfast, can be counterproductive for erectile health in men over 60. And now, here's a fruit that stands out for a very different, and potentially more serious, reason: grapefruit. Unlike the other fruits we've discussed where the primary concern is sugar content, grapefruit presents a unique and critical issue for men over 60 medication interactions. Many men in this age group are on various medications for common conditions such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart conditions, or even erectile dysfunction medications themselves. Grapefruit and grapefruit juice contain compounds called furanocoumarins that can interfere with an enzyme in your digestive system called cytochrome P450 3A4 or CYP3A4. This enzyme is responsible for breaking down and metabolizing many common medications. When you consume grapefruit, it inhibits this enzyme, meaning that your body can't properly process and eliminate the medication. This leads to much higher levels of the drug circulating in your bloodstream than intended, potentially causing dangerous side effects or even overdose. For example, if you're taking a statin for cholesterol or a blood pressure medication, consuming grapefruit can significantly amplify their effects, leading to muscle damage. Kidney problems or dangerously low blood pressure. More directly to our topic. If you're using an ED medication like sildenafil Viagra, tadalafil Cialis, or vardenafil Levitra, grapefruit can dramatically increase the drug's concentration in your blood, raising the risk of severe side effects such as dangerously low blood pressure, vision problems, or even a priapism, which is a prolonged and painful erection requiring immediate medical attention. Given these serious potential interactions, if you are over 60 and on any prescription medication, it is absolutely crucial to consult your doctor or pharmacist about whether grapefruit is safe for you to consume. For many, it's safer to avoid it entirely, especially for breakfast when you might take your daily medications. Let's shift our focus to another popular, easy to snack on fruit that can pose a problem at breakfast: grapes. Whether they're red, green, or black, grapes are delicious, but they are also little bundles of concentrated sugar. It's incredibly easy to eat a large quantity of grapes without realizing just how much sugar you're consuming. A cup of grapes, which isn't a huge serving for many, can contain around 23 grams of sugar. If you routinely grab a big bunch for breakfast, you're setting yourself up for that same detrimental blood sugar spike and insulin surge we've been discussing. Beyond the immediate sugar rush, the type of sugar in grapes is predominantly fructose. While natural, excessive fructose intake, particularly without sufficient fiber, can be uniquely problematic for liver health. Your liver is primarily responsible for metabolizing fructose. When it's overwhelmed with a large load of fructose, especially from a quick breakfast without other macronutrients to slow absorption, it can convert that excess fructose into fat, particularly triglycerides, and contribute to the development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. A fatty liver can impair overall metabolic function, contributing to insulin resistance and systemic inflammation, both of which are detrimental to cardiovascular health and, by extension, erectile function. Furthermore, a diet high in easily absorbed sugars can contribute to central obesity, particularly visceral fat around the midsection. This type of fat is metabolically active and can increase inflammation and lower circulating testosterone levels, further impacting erectile health. So, while grapes are a delightful snack, consuming a large quantity for breakfast can be a stealthy contributor to metabolic dysfunction that indirectly but powerfully impacts your erections. Portion control is key, and always pair them with protein and healthy fats. Finally, for this section, let's consider a breakfast staple that might surprise you: very ripe bananas. While bananas are often lauded for their potassium and energy-boosting qualities, their ripeness plays a critical role in their sugar content and glycemic impact. A very ripe banana, one with lots of brown spots, has converted much of its resistant starch into simple sugars. This means it has a much higher glycemic index than a firmer, greener banana. Eating a very ripe banana on its own for breakfast delivers a rapid dose of easily absorbed sugars. This quick sugar absorption leads to a more pronounced blood sugar spike and a greater demand for insulin for men over 60 who may already have compromised glucose metabolism or be at risk for insulin resistance. This frequent challenge to the system can accelerate the progression towards metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes, both of which are strongly linked to severe erectile dysfunction. Chronic high blood sugar damages the nerves and blood vessels essential for erections, and diabetes is one of the leading causes of ED. Furthermore, the constant cycling of blood sugar and insulin can contribute to chronic inflammation, which, as we've seen, directly impairs the health of your blood vessels and their ability to dilate. So, while a banana can be part of a healthy diet, opting for very ripe ones as a standalone breakfast can inadvertently undermine your erectile vitality. If you enjoy bananas for breakfast, choose slightly less ripe ones, and always combine them with a protein source like nuts, seeds, or yogurt to slow down the sugar absorption and provide a more sustained release of energy. It's becoming clear that even natural sugars can be a double-edged sword, especially when consumed incorrectly. Now, let's uncover the last few fruits on our list that might be silently undermining your vitality. We're almost through our list of breakfast fruits to be mindful of. Let's talk about some others that often find their way onto our morning plates, starting with the luscious cherry. Cherries, especially the sweet varieties, are often celebrated for their antioxidant content and anti-inflammatory properties. And rightly so. They contain compounds like anthocyanins that are beneficial. However, when it comes to breakfast, particularly for men over 60 concerned about erectile health, the sugar content of cherries can be a surprising factor. A cup of sweet cherries contains a significant amount of natural sugars, similar to or even higher than a banana. Consuming a generous bowl of cherries on an empty stomach, first thing in the morning, can trigger a considerable blood sugar response. While the antioxidants are good, the immediate sugar load can negate some of those benefits by putting your metabolic system under stress. This rapid influx of sugar, followed by a surge of insulin, contributes to the very issues we've been discussing: increased risk of insulin resistance, chronic low-grade inflammation, and potential damage to the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessels. Remember, the health of your blood vessels is paramount for erectile function. Anything that repeatedly stresses or damages them, even seemingly healthy foods consumed in the wrong way, can cumulatively lead to impaired blood flow and reduced ability to achieve and maintain an erection. It's all about balance and context. If you enjoy cherries, consider them a delightful treat to have in smaller portions, perhaps after a protein-rich meal, rather than as the main event for breakfast. So this way, you still get their beneficial compounds without the significant sugar spike that could work against your vitality goals. Next up, a less common, but equally problematic tropical delight when consumed for breakfast: lychees. These small fragrant fruits are incredibly sweet and, like many tropical fruits, are very high in natural sugars. While delicious, their concentrated sugar content makes them particularly ill-suited for a standalone breakfast. Especially for men over 60, a handful of lychees can deliver a rapid dose of simple sugars, leading to an immediate and pronounced spike in blood glucose levels. This swift elevation in blood sugar forces your pancreas to release a large amount of insulin in a short period. Over time, this repeated burden on your insulin-producing cells can lead to pancreatic fatigue and an increased risk of developing insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is a major underlying factor in metabolic syndrome and type 2 diabetes, both of which are strongly correlated with erectile dysfunction. The chronic high blood sugar associated with insulin resistance damages the intricate network of blood vessels and nerves crucial for erectile function. It impairs the body's ability to produce and utilize nitric oxide, which is the chemical messenger responsible for relaxing the smooth muscles in the penis and allowing blood to flow in. So, while lychees might be a delightful taste sensation, their high sugar density makes them a less than ideal choice for your morning meal if you are prioritizing optimal erectile health. Treat them as an occasional indulgence, not a breakfast staple. Finally, let's address a fruit that's often hailed for its health benefits, and for good reason, but can still be problematic when consumed in a specific way: for breakfast watermelon, especially in very large quantities. Watermelon is indeed hydrating and contains L-citrulline, an amino acid that the body converts to L-arginine, a precursor to nitric oxide, which is beneficial for blood vessel relaxation and blood flow, thus potentially aiding erections. So, why is it on this list? The issue isn't the watermelon itself, but rather the quantity and the context of its consumption for breakfast. Watermelon has a relatively high glycemic index, and because it's so watery, it's incredibly easy to eat a very large portion quickly, without feeling full. This means you might consume a significant amount of natural sugar in a short period, leading to a blood sugar spike similar to what you'd get from other high-sugar fruits, but without the fiber or protein to slow absorption. While the L-citrulline is beneficial, the sheer sugar load from a large breakfast serving can still overwhelm your system. This rapid sugar surge can contribute to the same metabolic stress, insulin response, and potential long-term vascular damage that other high-sugar fruits cause. Additionally, because watermelon is so watery and low in protein and fat, it doesn't provide sustained energy or satiety. You might feel full briefly, but then quickly become hungry again, leading to snacking on less healthy options later in the morning, which indirectly contributes to poor overall dietary habits that impact erectile health. So, while watermelon can be a great, hydrating fruit, consuming it in very large quantities as your sole breakfast could inadvertently disrupt your blood sugar balance and contribute to metabolic issues that work against optimal erectile function. Enjoy it in moderation, as part of a balanced meal that includes protein and healthy fats, rather than as a massive standalone breakfast. So, we've looked at dates, dried figs, mango, pineapple, grapefruit, grapes, very ripe bananas, cherries, lychees, and even large amounts of watermelon. The common thread here isn't that these fruits are bad in themselves, or that you should ban them from your diet forever. Far from it. They all have their place and offer valuable nutrients. The critical point is how and when we consume them. Especially for breakfast after 60 can have unforeseen consequences for something as vital and personal as erectile health. It's about being incredibly mindful of blood sugar spikes, which can quietly, over time, damage your precious blood vessels and impair your body's ability to produce the nitric oxide essential for erections. It's also about understanding potential medication interactions, like with grapefruit, which can be genuinely dangerous for older men on prescription drugs. And it's about ensuring your breakfast truly sets you up for stable energy and optimal body function throughout the day, rather than starting with a sugar rush that leads to a crash and chronic metabolic stress. Remember, knowledge is power. And even small, thoughtful adjustments to your diet can yield incredible results for your vitality and confidence. You have the power to reclaim your well-being, to feel stronger, more vibrant, and more like yourself. It's not about strict, joyless restriction, but about making smarter, more informed choices that truly nourish your body and support your unique needs as you age gracefully and powerfully. Think of your breakfast as the foundation for your day's health and vitality. By choosing options that provide sustained energy, stabilize your blood sugar, and support healthy blood flow, you are directly investing in your long-term erectile health and overall well-being. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have any of these fruits been a staple in your breakfast routine? What changes are you considering making based on what we've discussed today? Share your experiences, your own insights, and any questions you might have in the comments below. Your feedback and stories not only help me, but they also create a valuable community for others who are on a similar journey to better health. And if you found this video helpful, if it sparked a new thought or offered some clarity, please give it a thumbs up. That simple gesture really helps us reach more people who can benefit from this vital information. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell, so you don't miss our upcoming videos packed with practical tips and empowering insights for living your best life at every age. You deserve to feel strong, vital, and confident every single day. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep taking those powerful steps towards a healthier, happier you. Live your best life, full of energy and passion.